Hey there Luma, this is the puff shell stitch. It's a funky version of a basket weave stitch and it looks great on the front, and although it's not 100% reversible, it looks very good on the back side as well. Hey, it's Denise from loomhat.com, and as always with stitch patterns, I want to give you the heads up that this is not a project pattern, and so I'm not going to discuss cast on or cast off because projects, not stitches, determine the cast on and cast off. This one's easy. For row 1, we're going to start with 4 purl stitches and 4 knit stitches. Now I'm going to be using a large gauge loom and a single strand of worsted weight yarn, but any gauge loom is going to work just fine. And I have 2 knit stitches here at the beginning. They're my border. That's going to be followed by the actual stitch pattern, which is a multiple of 8. That means you need at least 8 pegs to do the pattern. Again, I have those 2 knit stitches. They are not part of the stitch pattern, so we actually start with those 4 right here. So you're going to take your working yarn, put it under the existing loop. From the top, take your hook. You're then going to scoop up the working yarn to create a new loop. The existing loop that's on the peg, take it off and put the new loop on and pull. That's how you do a purl stitch. Let's do another one. From the top, scoop up and create a new loop. Take the old loop off the peg, put the new loop on and pull. That's 2. Here is my 3rd purl stitch. I'm going to do another one. From the top, scoop up, create a new loop, take the old loop off, put the new loop on and pull, and then I'm going to follow that with 4 knit stitches. And in this direction, I like to use the flat version. It's just more comfortable for me. You can use a U or a true, and if you're using a chunky yarn, you can also do an E-wrap and it'll come out just fine. So those are my 4 knit stitches. Now those are the 8 stitches, and I'm going to repeat them 3 for my swatch. You're going to do it as many times as necessary for your project. And let's go ahead and do row 2, where we're going to do 4 knit stitches, 1 purl, 2 knit stitches, and we're ending row 2 with 1 purl. So very easy, only knits and purls. For those 4 knit stitches, again, I have these 2 that are my border. They're not part of the stitch pattern, right? I'm starting right here with the 4 knit stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that's going to be followed by 1 purl stitch. So I'm putting my yarn under the existing, scoop up, create a new loop, take the old loop off, put the new one on and pull, and then that's going to be followed by 2 knit stitches, and I end the row with 1 purl, and then repeat that as necessary for your project. Then we're ready for row 3, and for this row we're going to do a repeat of rows 1 and 2 more times. And I know for some of you guys it's a little difficult to picture this, and so I want to give you a visual of these repeats. And so here is rows 3 through 6, right? So row 3 is a purl 4, knit 4, and then row 4 is a knit 4, purl 1, knit 2, purl 1, and you're repeating those 2 sets, right? For 5, purl 4, knit 4, and for row 6, knit 4, purl 1, knit 2, purl 1. All right, now that you've done that, you are then ready for row, you ready? 7. And for this one, you're going to do 4 knit stitches and follow those with 4 purl stitches. So you're basically flipping the pattern now on this set. All right, so those 4 knit stitches are, in my case, I'm doing 4 flat, You do whatever version of the knit stitch is comfortable for you. And then we're going to do 4 purl stitches, and that's row 7. Row 8, it's a bit different. Ready? For row 8, you're going to then purl 1, knit 2, purl 1, and finish that row with 4 knit stitches. Remember, like I said, this section we're basically just flipping the previous 6, right? So here on row 8, we're going to do 1 purl stitch, follow that with 2 knit stitches, then 1 purl and 4 knit stitches. That's row 8. You repeat it as necessary, and then we're going to do rows 9 through 12, and for these rows you're repeating the previous 2 rows, which were rows 7 and 8. You're repeating them 2 more times. And again, for you guys that need a visual of these repeats, here is a breakdown of those 4 rows, right? Row 9 is a knit 4, purl 4. 10 is a purl 1, knit 2, purl 1, knit 4. Then you're repeating those 2 rows for 11 and 12. So 11, knit 4, purl 4, and row 12, purl 1, knit 2, purl 1, knit 4. And then you're just repeating those as necessary for your project. That's it, guys. That is the puff shell stitch pattern that I hope you guys love. Please remember to share my videos. That helps me big time. Buy a pattern, which includes the flat and in the round version for your hats and socks and things like that. And if you haven't already done so, will subscribe to the channel, and please come back and knit with me again. Bye, guys.